Hey there everybody, Exelbirth here, and this is the server. Yeah, it's not the Oxcast Complete Pack, even though for some reason the waypoints are still here. I have no idea what's caused that. I'm not even using the same launcher and it's got the waypoints from the Oxcast Complete Pack. I don't know what's up with that at all. Alright, I'm Exelbirth. This guy here is Ben the Farmer. He's panicky for some reason. Don't ask him why. So this is the Epiccraft pack, and Tycho will be the miner. It's got quite a few mods. The reason I'm in creative mode right now is because I was just making the spawn area a little more safe for everyone who... Hey, finally calm down. A little more safe for everyone who's on the server so that we have a sort of safe place to kind of learn how to use this pack. We're going to roll with this pack until either the server dies again or the 1.7 packs come out. And pretty much I just want everyone who's on my server to do whatever the hell they feel like. If you want to hop in creative mode and do some epic builds, go ahead, do epic builds. I don't care. If you want to play this legit, do it as much in survival as you can. I wish you the best of luck because this is definitely a harder pack. So, I'm going to explain for the guys who aren't going to be on the server, and for anyone who hasn't used this pack before, a few of the basics. So you notice in the bottom right there are 4 gauges. The top gauge shows your body temperature. If it gets too high, you start suffering heat stroke, and it can eventually lead to your death by overheating. When you have heat stroke, you can, depending on the level, you can have nausea, which makes it so you're not able to eat, because there's a mod in this pack which makes it so that when you're nauseous, you can't even swallow food. Yeah, a little bit harder to deal with, but you'll be fine. I'm sure you guys will survive. Below that is a water gauge. This represents your thirst. So on top of managing your hunger and your body temperature, you have to manage your thirst. In order to replenish your thirst, simply drink some fresh water, either out of a river or a pond or from these irrigation canals, and it'll replenish your thirst bar. It also will cool you down a bit. Now, there are a couple places where you can't drink water from, namely swampy areas, because that water is bad for you. The meter below that represents how much oxygen is available to you, whether the air is thin or not. I imagine if you go up too high, it's going to be lower, so you might... I don't really know what happens with that one. Maybe you will start suffocating if you are too active when you are in a low oxygen environment. And the eyeball below that one is your sanity. If you are wandering around in the dark or are being injured, your sanity meter drops. When it drops low enough, you get the portal effect around you. You know, when you're going into a nether portal. And you start seeing things that may or may not be there. In order to restore your sanity, you either wear one of these flower bands, which will start increasing your sanity meter again, or just take some time and admire some flowers. Or go work in a garden. That also helps raise your sanity. In general, being out in the bright sunshine, admiring nature around you, working with nature, that's all going to increase your sanity. Make sure you're not going crazy. So, those are the important things to address. Also, Pam's Harvest Craft is installed, so there is way more food items, along with magical crops. So, farming, very big thing in this mod pack. That said, normal meals do not do much for you. You know, picking an apple from the tree and shoving that down your face, it's not going to restore as much hunger as you're used to in vanilla Minecraft. It's only going to restore like half a hunch. Also, there is a mod installed which makes it so that all food you eat has diminishing returns. What that means is that the more you eat it, the less it's going to be able to fill you up. There, got rid of that zombie. So you need to eat a wide variety of food. Thankfully, our server has a good spawn base. It's got a village nearby and loads of crops. In fact, there's even a Pam's Harvestcraft farm in a couple places, which is growing spice leaves and lettuce, peas, barley, seaweed, rutabaga. There's one over yonder which has a few more things like mushrooms and bamboo and beans. So plenty of good food to go around for everyone. Also, you don't need to break the crop when you harvest things. You can simply right-click and it will pull up the food items alone. But if you want to get more seeds, break the crops and it'll get you the food and the seeds. You can also take your food items and put them in the crafting grid. Let's grab one right now. And for vanilla items, it doesn't work all the time. Potatoes are a count of seeds. You will get seeds sometimes with wheat, but you can also take the wheat and turn it into seeds directly. Same with mostly every item that comes in Pam's Harvestcraft. Oh boy, and here's a good thing to let you guys know about. There are, in fact, tornadoes that you have to worry about. In fact, one is forming as I speak. If we're lucky, it will avoid going through the town. If we're not, the town's going to take a bit of damage, and I'm going to have to fix it up again before everyone decides to hop on. As far as I know, there's nothing to do to stop it. But if we progress far enough in the pack, we can save everyone by capturing them and taking them away. And here comes the tornado. I have to admit, this is one of the coolest parts about this pack, is these tornadoes. I'm going to go ahead and get a lot closer and start lagging a bit because this is a pretty graphically intense moment. Plus I haven't ventured very far besides the town. Yeah, the tornado is pretty dangerous because it will tear up the landscape. And it does look like it is heading in the direction of the town, which is kind of sad. Well, if we're lucky, most people are going to survive. And it's actually lagging enough that I probably shouldn't record while this is going on. But you can get the general idea from watching this. Yeah, see after the tornadoes pass through. So yeah, that was actually a fairly peaceful tornado. Which sounds like an oxymoron, but that's what it was. It didn't do too much damage. I didn't see anyone get yanked off the ground and into the air. So mostly it's just block damage that I'm going to have to take care of. Which I can do while we're flying around town and talking. The tornado is still close enough to cause me a bit of lag, but it's mostly doing fine. Cool thing about the tornado is that it actually puts down the blocks it picks up elsewhere. I'm going to have to repair this farmland. So yeah, that's one of the threats that everyone's going to have to deal with on this server. For a while, at least. Oh, look, a pig has taken shelter inside of this hut. How lovely. And I believe I saw a werecat. How nice. Yeah, it's nighttime now. Can't see any sign of the tornado anymore. It went off into the Great Forest over there, the Enchanted Forest, whatever it's called. Probably not going to see it again. So what about everything else that you can see in town alone, like those new villagers? Yes, they're not changed because of this texture pack that I'm using. They actually are different villagers. The other villagers do still exist, though they seem to be a little less common. But these new villagers, you can't trade with them, but you're able to interact with them. It's from the mod Minecraft Comes Alive, and you actually are able to marry villagers and have children with them and have a legacy. So like if you die, then I believe what happens is you're able to play as your offspring instead of yourself. Which there's no real major benefit to that, it's just something you're able to do. Which is kind of nice, it gives the game a little more flavor, a little more life. That tornado is still close enough, I guess. I'm still seeing plenty of things blowing. And it's causing lag. Give me one moment. Alright, seems like things have calmed down enough now. So where was I? Oh yes, the Minecraft Comes Alive thing. Seems like a pretty cool mod. I'm sure it'd be pretty entertaining to use it. I don't know how much people will actually use it though. I definitely will look into it myself because I'm kind of curious about all the functions of it. I know that you can get people to actually follow you and kind of form a war band slash raiding party slash adventure group. Ooh, geez, I am getting a lot of lag. You know, maybe this lag isn't from that tornado. Maybe it's Fraps lag, because this seems pretty much like Fraps lag. So give me one moment to fix that. Alright, is that better? Yeah, it's good enough for now. So anyway, next thing to talk about is the tools. Now, in this mod pack, it's all focused on progression. You have to start with mod A and work towards mod B, kind of thing. So you can't just immediately go build yourself a diamond pick, mine to the center of the earth, head to the nether, and win the game. It's not built like that. Now this is more of a gradual progression mod pack. Something that kind of makes you take the time to enjoy each pack for what it has to offer. To give you a bit of a taste of the mod pack in its wholeness. One of the things that it does to enforce that is it restricts your tool's capabilities. And what I mean by that is you can't simply go make yourself an iron pick as soon as you find iron. You can't even mine iron right away. Lag. Instead, what you have to do is you start out with a flint tool set. And you use the flint tools to get yourself some copper ore. Then you upgrade your tools into copper tools. And let me demonstrate that for a moment. Let's see. Let's just get rid of all this stuff here. Head over to the Tinker's Construct tab. So it doesn't let you make any key parts out of stone or wood. You can use wood for certain parts, but you can't make a pickaxe head out of it, for instance, or shovel head. Because seriously, who ever heard of mining stone with a piece of wood? Doesn't make sense, does it? Or maybe it does let you use a wooden pickaxe head. That's kind of strange. But you can't make a stone one. It's only for casting. So, flint, and go with a wooden rod, and wooden binding. And I'll grab the tool forge because it's just simple. So you take all your parts, you throw them in, and you get your basic pick. And it shows you the mining level it has, and your skill with it. Now this is important. The more you use a certain tool, the more proficient you yourself become with it, which automatically upgrades that tool over time. Basically, it gives you free modifiers. Now say you reach a point where you're ready for using copper for your tools, and you don't want to lose the skill levels you have on your current pickaxe. Well, this mod pack actually has that covered. I grab a copper pickaxe head. Copper, where's the copper? Copper. You can take your tool once it's fully repaired and put it in here, and it will automatically let you upgrade individual parts. So you go from having a copper level mining pickaxe to a copper pickaxe which mines at the level of copper. Now, key thing about that, if you want to be able to upgrade to being able to mine iron, there's two options. See the option under XP where it says Boost XP? The more ore you mine with the pickaxe, the more Boost XP it's able to obtain. Once that reaches max amount, it upgrades to the next mining level, in this case iron. You basically have to go through the Boost XP level each time you upgrade your pickaxe. And each type of pickaxe is only able to reach a certain amount of a certain tier of mining. So once you get your copper pickaxe up to the point where you can mine iron, you have to upgrade it to an iron pickaxe and then get it up to the point where you can mine tin, and then mine some tin, make some bronze, and you got yourself the next tier of pickaxe. I think bronze is actually the more respectable tier of pickaxe. Let me grab a bronze head, see if I'm actually right on that. Bronze. Yeah, bronze gives you mining level of 10, but when it upgrades you can mine cobalt, I believe. Which by that point you're probably going to be pretty much set in your base and ready to head to the nether anyway. So that applies for every tool, meaning it can take a little while before you're actually able to have iron armor and stuff like that. Which, personally, I think that's fine. Remember, this pack is built on progression, not on just being an all-around get everything you want pack. Let's see, was there anything else that's important to talk about? I think that covers most of the basics. There are a few other mods that are pretty cool in this pack, like Grimoires of Gaia, which adds dozens and dozens of new mobs. I've seen griffins and harpies and nagas and eagles and minotaurs, werecats, mummies, banshees, centaurs, which you probably saw in that tornado last night. It adds just a ton of cool new stuff, and I'm hoping everyone on the server enjoys playing with this new pack. And if you are trying out this pack for yourself, I hope you enjoy playing it too. But that's going to do it for this little episode. I have to get some things things rendered so that I can actually record other footage. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little explanation video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and fave, and I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Take care, guys, and goodbye.